off with the arch rivalry that's built up between you two with the Yankees and the Mets. And
where should we lead off with that?
Gary's not, listen, because I'm a Yankee fan, I'm busy. I have to go.
Do what? Draft for next year?
Several things, meetings, marketing strategies. Listen, you think I'm busting your balls.
You are.
I'm not. I really think that it's a serious thing with the kids. Now, listen.
I'm not going to listen.
They're Met fans.
This is like seeing Chris Rock for the fourth night in a row. He's funny the first one. I got it. Listen, I totally deserve get my ass kicked. I was up your ass about the Yankees.
You were. And listen, I deserve it. I have class about that. That's not what this is about. You think I'd have some vendetta? I'm saying that your kids are
the term low rent never entered my mind.
Met Jet fans. Why not fucking?
Did you see that show that Brett Favre put on yesterday?
Yeah, all right. Well, you think the Jets are gonna win the Super Bowl, or are you gonna think they're going to do you think they'll go to the AFC Championship game?
They might. They'll get to the playoffs, and then from there.
This is disappointment upon
as opposed to who? The Giants?
Disappointment. No. Yeah, well, the Giants won the Super Bowl last year.
You think they're going to repeat?
First of all,
this is a dumb conversation. I have no beef with the Giants. I
know you don't. Well, why bring that up then?
You brought the Jets up.
No, you brought the Giants up.
No, you brought the Jets up.
You're deflecting. The kids are. You admit it's a bad week for Jackson now because he's been trained to. You know what? Why don't you get him to root for Iraq and the war, too? And eventually he'll lose.
I'm sure, listen, Artie, I'm sure when your kids grow up and they're Yankee fans and their dad goes back to rehab, it'll be a bad week for them.
Oh, you see now, that is awful. Me and rehab has nothing to do with the Mets sucking. Whether I was before I even did drugs, the Mets sucked.
That's not true.
That is true.
Before you did drugs, that's when the Mets was their best.
No, 1978, I had not done drugs yet, my friend. 1979, when Lee Mazzilli led the team with a 268 average. Jerry Grody, and a 42-year-old Jerry Grody handed off the reins and the tools of ignorance to who? Ron Hodges. You should
have seen, Artie, you should have seen some of the people they trucked out yesterday for the ceremony.
Of course.
They had Tom Seaver, Mike Piazza, all that stuff. They had Art Shamsky was there.
Doug Flynn,
Craig Swan, and my personal favorite, George Theodore.
Mike Phillips, the shortstop who hit for the Cyclones in 1976.
You know who was there that really was exciting to see? I don't know why I was excited to see him. King Kong Kingman.
Well, Dave Kingman is a fun, exciting player, but did they drag out Bruce Beauclair?
No Bruce Beauclair.
But here's a guy who hit 235 in the postseason with the Brewers in 1982, but before that, he never made it to the postseason with the Mets. Mike Vail.
They were dragging out. They would take a guy.
Here's Bob Apodaca.
But they would take a guy who had done almost nothing, right?
Dale Unser.
And give stats like that. They would go, I forget what Art Shamsky's were, but they go, this next player played with the Mets on their 1969 championship team. He hit 3 home runs that season. Let's hear it for Art Shamsky.
Here's the Mets home run leader of 77, Felix Meaz.
He was there.
Of course he was.
Ed Kranepool
What else
was
is
there.
he going to do? Here's the bonus baby from the 62 Mets, Ed Kranepool.
You know who was there? He was there. And also, you know who else was there? Ed Charles.
I thought Ed Charles was dead.
No, Cleon Jones. I thought Cleon Jones was dead. Cleon Jones now looks like a character in a movie. He's got a big, gray, droopy mustache. He looks like the guy that sits on the front porch and gives wisdom out.
Again, racist. Don Clendenin
was not there.
He's dead.
Artie, what makes you happier, like a Yankee win or a Met loss at this point?
Well, when you can't get one, you have to live off the other.
Well, here's the thing. Both have happened so much. It's like, I'm tired of both of them because it's craziness. It's like, but it's still pretty good because, quite frankly, does you have to get tired of pussy? No.
You know what? Here's the thing.
I think I like the Mets sucking more. Well, no, listen. The ultimate happened in the year 2000. The Mets didn't suck in the year 2000. They lost in the World Series to the Yankees. That's the ultimate.
Right. The thing that sucked. No, he wasn't. Duffy Dyer was there. The thing that sucks about this is you're in a city with 2 baseball teams. If the Mets were in Baltimore, they'd be hailed. You know what I mean? Been to the playoffs, 5 of the last 12 or 13
years.
Sure,
the Orioles have a much better history than the Mets.
In what respect?
What do you mean? In every respect.
I'm just saying, since 1971, over the last
71, the Orioles lost to the Pirates, right? But then...
they lost to the Pirates in 79, too.
Okay, but the Orioles won in 83. They won in 70. So, I mean...
but how often have they been to the playoffs? I'm saying that the Mets have been to the World Series a reasonable amount of times. Mm-hmm. In that period of time.
Yeah, but I think the Orioles is a bad argument.
I'm trying to think of the Royals.
Because they went for a long time.
The Texas Rangers.
The Orioles. Okay, we'll keep throwing out teams. I'm saying if your kids were Oriole fans, they'd be bigger winners.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would. They'd have a more positive.
No, they wouldn't, because my kids wouldn't know. They wouldn't know all those old champions.
I'm saying move to Baltimore. That's what I'm saying.
John, what's the team that's gone the longest in major leagues without making the postseason?
The postseason?
You have to think about that. It's the Pirates.
Yeah. Oh, no. The Pirates were in the postseason in 91.
It's the Cubs.
Yeah, that's 17 years.
No. The Cubs were in the postseason last year.
I think it's the Pirates. I think it's 17 years in the postseason.
You're talking about as of right now?
Right, currently.
Okay, because the Cubs are probably of all time.
If that's
not
true,
the longest time winning a World Series, the longest time
just without to get in the playoffs?
To go into the postseason in any way.
That's what I was talking about.
We'll look it up, but I don't think it's the Pirates.
I thought I read that it's the Pirates. I thought I saw a stat on one of the shows the other day.
How about the Expos?
I'm just saying.
Why are you deflecting on me?
I'm just saying that
he's drowning. He's drowning.
I'm saying that Pittsburgh has a long and storied tradition, yet not since 1991.
Yes, the tradition has been absent for quite a while.
I'm saying it's very cyclical.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marv Throneberry.
JT in Westchester, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys. I'm 23. I've been a Mets fan my whole life, and I know the Yankees are a great team, Artie. You can't argue with that.
Thank you, Jeff.
They have a great history, but the point is that after suffering for all these years, the way they lost in '99 to the Braves, to the Yankees in 2000, then sucking until 2006, and then the Cardinals, and the way they ended these past 2 years. When we do win a World Series, whether it's next year, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, whatever it is, I know I'm going to appreciate it so much more than you ever appreciated any Yankee World Series.
How do you know it's going to happen?
I don't know when it's going to happen.
How do you know it'll ever happen?
I don't.
Probably not.
If it does.
You're 23 years old. You were born in 85?
85, yep.
So we can't count 86.
No, I don't count 86.
So you've never seen them win. You've never seen them win.
Never. Well, and I might never. But if it does happen, I know that I'm going to appreciate it, having suffered through all this more than you will another 27th Yankees World Series.
Let me tell you something. That's what the Red Sox fans said, and then they killed a woman when they won. Do you remember that?
It was an accident.
A woman died because those fucking dirtbags couldn't control themselves.
Artie.
And you know what? Go ahead, kill a woman like the Red Sox.
Artie, try to be semi-serious.
What happened?
If I said to you tomorrow, I came in and I said, you know what, Artie, had a conversation with the kids, talked it over. We're now all Yankee fans. Would you have any respect for me as a sports fan? Come on, you know the truth.
No, but I've had respect for them.
You would not.
I just think, no, I wouldn't have respect for you as a sports fan, but as a parent, I would love you.
I would lose all respect for you.
Sport fans, listen, you don't want to, I'm a sports fan, I'm a negative prick. You don't want to raise your kids that way. You don't. As a parent, I think most, like Dyfus, I think would say, Gary, I think Dyfus would take your kids at this point.
Is that some organization that's in charge of kids?
Dyfus, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Is it Dyfus? Help me out here, John.
It's
Division of Youth and Family.
Right.
Oh, wow. Why does Teddy know that?
That's where he was raised from 14 to 18.
Yeah.
So what happens if the Yankees say this isn't a bad year for the Yankees? It's the beginning of one of those bad runs. And say for 10 years they don't have postseason play. Then what will that mean? That now I've joined over to the Yankees?
Well, but like a lot of kids could grip on to, even when the Yankees didn't win the World Series, like Mattingly was a hero. Like you could grip onto a Derek Jeter. For a young heterosexual kid, Jeter is a hero. I mean, we were just talking about Jeter's list of pussy. And, you know, who do the Mets have? No one.
David Wright.
Frank Tavares. David Wright.
Yeah.
Who has he banged? Not as many as Jeter.
Well, he doesn't have to brag about it.
But Jeter doesn't brag about it either. But the media brags about it because he's a Yankee.
But you're just as into the Mets as your son is. I mean,
Absolutely.
Whereas Artie, you've said you've backed off the Yankees a little bit.
No, I haven't backed off the Yankees.
Again, they're not doing that well. Why bother?
No.
More important things.
Are you saying he's a front runner?
A little bit.
No, I want to see every
Hey,
fucking...
you were quiet
I
this
want to
year.
see all your ticket stubs from 94.
Considering I got a lot of them. Dude, I got a lot
of them, too. You go to Stan's Sports Bar at 158 River Avenue.
How many games did you make it to this year?
And you ask him how many shots of tequila I fucking bought in 1987 with gnats in it. There was warm gnats in the tequila. And I drank it. Because I would go to a Twin game when they blew. I'd go, you know what I used to do? And rain delays, me and my friends would go while other assholes were fucking chicks and smoking the grass and burning their draft cards. I was a Yankee fan.
Burning draft cards in 87?
Yeah, that's what we did. No, none of us wanted to go to Grenada. And we would go there in a rain delay, 8,000 people. I called Kelly Gruber a fag. And I said, rain delay, Clete Boyer's right next to Kelly Gruber. And I said, hey, Gruber. He goes, what? I said, Clete Boyer thinks you're a fucking fag.
By the way, I have the answer for the longest time without making the playoffs. It's the Nationals and the Expos, which I sort of don't count because they're two different teams. They haven't been in since 81.
I said the Expos.
And the Royals since 85. That's a long time.
There you go.
So Pittsburgh's probably like third or fourth on that list.
I said the Expos.
Tim in the Poconos, you're on the wrap-up show.
Boys, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Tim?
Listen, Gary, I was the guy sitting right behind you yesterday. We were at the game, and it was really cool to see you with your kids and how animated they were getting, when the Mets were starting downhill in that game.
Tim, if you're the guy I'm thinking of, Tim was really upset. Were you
Look at that hot chick.
Yeah, I was a show and wife guy.
Holy shit.
Right. Tim was beyond upset when the game was over.
Holy shit.
He's like a real fan.
Look at her. That's from the Martha Stewart. Tim, I'm sorry.
That's right, dude.
Look at her.
But yeah, I mean,
Does she work for the Martha Stewart?
We're not allowed to do this.
We're not allowed to talk about the pussy walking around?
No.
Why not?
No
one gave me that memo. Remember, I don't have email, man. If we can't talk about the pussy walking around here, I need to know.
Because that person might not have signed up to be talked about.
Well, we're not mentioning her by name.
What were you trying to say, Tim?
I can't break balls? That'll be the fucking day when I can't break balls. Tim, listen. Did you see the kids crying at the end, almost like they were abused children because they're fucking beloved Mets, and Gary trying to deflect. Oh no, I know the Mets. I know the team lost, but look, it's a ceremony. Look, that's Willie Montañez. Don't you want to get a ball signed by Willie Montañez?
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, they're still too young to appreciate a lot of the guys, that came up in the
right.
I mean,
so the team loses. Look at that fucking bitch over there. Look at the team loses. The team loses, and they're crying. Dad, they lost. And Dad's going, wait, son, Bruce Beauclair and Mike Vail are going to say a few words. Tavares to Millan to Montañez. Don't you remember that old song?
Joe Youngblood.
Joe Youngblood.
Well, that's the thing that kind of pissed me off. Is like
Tim Foley is going to say a few words.
They have the fucking ceremony after the game.
Wayne Garrett. Don't you want Wayne Garrett's autograph?
Tim, we talked
there.
Jackson.
Wayne Garrett was there. Tim, we talked about this morning.
What else is he going to do?
About what? You know who lost weight, by the way? Sid Fernandez.
Yes,
Sid.
I smell a Coke problem.
But Tim, we were talking about how only the Mets could figure out a way to have that ceremony after a loss like that.
There's no El Cid used to have an ass bigger than Mike Francesa's. There's no way he got rid of that. El Cid looked like that sketch Dan Aykroyd used to do on SNL, the Big Ass Family.
Right.
Wow.
He's thin now.
Look, kids, look. It's Roy Stager.
I don't even know who that is.
Thanks for your call, Tim.
Let's go. Tim Foley was a good one, though.
Oh, we lost the playoffs after testing your loyalty and hopes, and then they just took it away from you. We're going to get Willie Montañez's autograph and then sit in traffic at the BQE for 4.5 hours, so you're late for school.
You don't go to the BQE.
Is this a typical Yankee fan reaction, Gary, would you say?
Yeah, see, but I have nothing to throw back at him, because, I mean, I deserve some of this, but,
You do, because you fucked with me and my favorite team.
You spoke too soon, Gary. We talked about that.
No, John High got a hold of me after I argued with you that morning. I sat down at my desk, and he goes, you actually did a very good job of arguing. You stung him a couple times. He goes, but I got to tell you, this conversation was 2 weeks too early.
Yeah, I play poker with a guy, and when you're up and you're talking, he goes, "You chirping? You chirping?"
I chirped.
You chirped.
I chirped.
You chirped.
Anthony in Baltimore, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yeah, I don't like Gary talking shit on the Pirates. I mean, we got the Penguins and the Steelers, and you ain't got others.
Thanks, buddy.
I wasn't making fun of the Pirates. I was pointing to a team that hadn't won in a while and saying, well, hold on, Anthony, should you, because the point I was trying to make is, and I really wasn't making fun of the Pirates. Hold on, Anthony, let me make a point. If your team hasn't won in a long time, should you stop being the fan? Should you stop being a fan of the Pirates?
I'll never stop being a fan.
That's the point I was trying to make, that no matter how your team does, you don't stop being a fan.
But anyway, hey, back on that, I saw that USO tour. Man, you're fucking fat. Your fucking face is exploding.
You talking to me or Gary?
Gary, Artie, you're cool. Whatever.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
He's downright svelte.
I'm talking about
I'm cool.
Gary. He was saying about his suit made him look fat when Howard was busting his balls. Why don't you do an over-under before the wedding? See if you gain more weight.
Hey, Anthony, I got an idea. Why don't your shit team go have a fucking fire sale, sell more players to the Yankees than everybody else?
Doug Drabeck. Listen,
Xavier Nady.
Listen,
former Met, by the way.
Jackson, I'm sorry that they lost, but we're going to... Pat Zachary has agreed to take a picture with you. Greg Swan.
Greg Swan was there. Craig Swan.
Where the fuck else is he going to be? At the car dealership he's working for. Greg Swan has agreed to drive us home.
Thanks for your call there, Anthony, and thanks for the pirate comment there, Gar.
Hey, he started it.
All right, let's shift gears because we have limited time.
Let's shift over to the Martha Stewart pussy parade going on.
While Artie takes a look at that, the bachelor party apparently.